Hello everyone. So you wouldn't believe how many times I've done this. I actually did this room for at least 3 times and then record this for at least another 3 times. But a couple of times it's either the file is corrupted or it just doesn't work out the way I want it to work out. So here I am again doing this. In this video, we're gonna work on Attacktive Directory, and it is part of the Cyber Defend learning path on TryHackMe. But not only that, I want to study Active Directory because I am right now actually studying Active Directory from TCM Security Practical Ethical Hacking. So it is, all inclusive, and I'm so excited to learn about Active Directory. I just like kind of mad at myself because I've been making a lot of mistakes just the recording this alone. Otherwise it's been a smooth ride and easy room, so like let's just jump into it. For the first thing first, we could nmap scan this. I'm not going to explain this. It's very simple, and it's not going to give you that much information. We know we're going to get into Active Directory, so it's not that important in terms of nmap scan. One notable thing, it's going to give you the domain name, but it's not that important. And for the task 2, we could set up the M packet. I already done mine, so if you're struggling, make sure you follow this tab here. Let me zoom in for you. And again, instead of doing this whole command that they gave you, just follow this section here where you do the sudo git clone. So if you sudo, you have a better chance of getting it right. And in terms of install the Bloodhound Neo J4, we're not going to use this tool yet, so whether or not you install it doesn't really matter. And then update, just sudo app update, and then sudo app upgrade. Make sure you sudo. So sudo, or you're in a root terminal, you should be fine. So the setup, that's the setup. And all you have to do next up is you either could nano or subblur it. I like to use Sublime for my text file. So I would sudo blur and then etc host. We're gonna bind the domain with the IP. So mine is 10.10.108.44. So just copy and paste this and save it. So you bind this. Make sure you use the tab here instead of space, and then type out the domain. It's shown here on the notes on task 3. So you bind this and then save it. That should be all set. And then for the tool that allows us to enumerate the port 139.445, it is enum for Linux. So how about enum for Linux, and then -A for, let me use help actually, -8. So doing all the simple enumeration with enum for Linux, so just paste the IP here, 10.10.108.44, and then give it a little bit of time. Gonna give you all the answer for the tool that allowed us to enumerate the port 139.445, and it's enum for Linux. Where's the NetBIOS domain name of the machine? Well, there it is. It's a domain name, and it is thm-ad. And what is the top level domain? So TLD is top level domain. Do people commonly use for their Active Directory domain? It is .local. Well, it is also invalid too. So just make sure you read that out. I didn't read that out. So yeah. So it is .local as it's shown here on SpookySex.local. Yeah, there it is. It's also shown in the hint. So that's that. Let it scan. If you want to let it scan, it's gonna be a while, and I'm gonna move on to the next step because we got all the information here actually we need, because it doesn't give you much here. I mean, it is good to do it, I mean, when you first doing it, but like I already done mine, and yeah, that's for me. So for the next task 4, we're gonna enumerate user via Kerberos root. So you could use this hyperlinks here. It's gonna direct you to GitHub. Let me launch my Firefox and then paste the link. Gonna launch you to GitHub, and the program is developed by Rob Knopp, or Rob Knopp, I think it's his name or their name. And what you want to download is Kerberos Linux AMD 64 here. Let me zoom in for you. So you want to download this one. So this is one you download. Already done mine. If you can see here, it's at a special path here, THM, which is TryHackMe, and then ATD, which is Attacktive Directory, and I download mine. It is Kerberos _Linux _AMD 64. So you go to this tab, and what you want to do when you download it, you have to give it a execute permission. So put a plus X, so a chmod plus X curb root Linux AMD64. And then once you've done that, you give it the execute permission. You type out // curb root Linux AMD64. And then the module we want to use, it is user enum. So we want to enumerate the username or the user. And then next up, we're going to type out tac DC, and then we're going to paste the IP. Let me copy the IP again. And then -d, so tag D here, and then we're gonna type out spooky sex. That's our domain, the full domain, logo. And then make sure you put a user.text, so the user list and the user passwords and the password list, it's also included on the room. So make sure you download this, copy it to a text file. So I have mine here, pass.text and then users.text. So all you have to do is type out the path of it already in the path. So all I have to do is type the user.text, let it brute force the first valid username here. It is Jane, but it's not important here. But the one that supposed to jump out to us, it is svc-admin. That is the first notable account that discover, and give it a little bit more time, you're gonna see the backup. So spoiler alert, that's the backup. Again, nmap is still running. I'm not gonna look at it that much. It's great if you've done it for the first time and you use nmap, let it scan. You could also use rust scan, but this time I prefer nmap because ultimately I want to get used to use nmap in a complex level, and that is that. There it is. With a bit of weight, we also see backup.spookysex. The reason why we want to look at the backup and svc.admin, because svc-admin is one of those accounts that is, as long as it's admin, it's important for us enough. It's valuable, more valuable than any other account like James or Robin or Darkstar. We also see an administrator, but for administrator account, usually it has a very long password and a complex password, so it's harder to brute force for administrator. But if we do svc admin here, look important to us. And then backup at spookysex.logo is also important to us because backup usually have a less complex password, easier to brute force, and they also have a higher privilege than any other user we see here, maybe as the same as the administrator. Sometime a good place to look at. So that's the notable account. One is svc-admin and the other is the backup account. That's it for task 4. We move on to task 5. So if you want to let it run, you can let it run. I'm gonna finish this, control C. And task 5, we're gonna be abusing Kerberos. So all we have to do is I'm gonna go back to this tab here. I'm gonna print the directory of this path. So if you download yours, you go back to task 2, do the setup like I showed you earlier, and we have the file here. The directory here is op/mpacket/example. We cd to that, and what you want to look at on this, it is get npuser.py. So we have it here, and get npuser.py. So I'm just gonna go ahead and control L to clear out the terminal, and then type python 3, and then just do the get npuser.py because I'm already at the path. I don't have to type out the path again. And then I'm just gonna do this to give it a bit of shortcut. I'm gonna explain you the syntax later on, and then type out the IP here. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna copy that instead of typing it because it's much faster, so I could explain it to you. So I'll get npuser. Our syntax would be python 3 get npuser.py -domain controller. So it is -dc -IP, so it is the domain controller IP, and then -user file for the username we want to brute force, or we want to like enumerate. So it is user file -user file, and then we're gonna type out our user list, which is, it's not supposed to be user list. Let me ls. It's supposed to be user. So we're gonna type out this instead, just to make sure it is the same here. Kali thm. So thm, I knew why this happened, but doesn't matter. We're gonna ignore that. So type out the user list here. It is at the thmatd. So depending on where you place the user list, mine is thmadt user.text. And then we're gonna type out the domain, the full domain here. It is spookysex.logo, and make sure you put a / at the end of logo to actually get the syntax right. and then just press enter and then let it run for a little bit. And there it is. We find the hash of SVC admin. So you either let it keep running. Gonna grab this one. This one is important for us enough. So all you have to do is copy this and then create a file here. I'm already have mine. No, not this one, not the admin.hash, but svc admin.hash. But sometime, depend on the machine, it is different hash. So if you see here, you can see me paste. Yeah, that is. It's end differently. So PB5 to BED. So it makes sure if you've done this room before, you know, with different kind of Active Directory, you start another instant, it's gonna give you another hash. So make sure you copy the new hash. I'm gonna save mine. Mine has already been copy and save. So actually save it, Control S, but I didn't want to Control S. So that is the account we can query a ticket from without a password. It is SVC admin. So you either let it run. I'm just gonna stop it. It's fine. You know, it's gonna keep taking so much resource for no reason, because this is all we need here. And then we're gonna look at Hashcat example wiki. So just copy that and Google it. It's really that simple. So in this very long and big list of thing, all you have to do here to look at the mode is copy this header, start with the $, and then with the $, with the 23 here, copy it and paste it, and Control F, paste it onto this here. And then you can see here the mode of the Hashcat would be 18200. So on our Hashcat we're gonna use 18200. So again, this been running, and there is, we see all of this. Again, it's not that important. We already know what to do here, and it doesn't give you much info after the THM-AD, and you can also find this on the Nmap scan too. So, but anyways, I'm gonna continue doing my thing. So once you save it here, we're gonna ls and see the svadmin.hash. That's the hash that we got from the brute force. There it is. That's the brute force. That we pretty much dump this credential and copy it. So once you have that, you could type hashcat mode, type the number correspond to the search we find on the wiki. If you can see on the back here, it's kind of transparent enough that you could kind of see it. So it is 18200-A 0 for the mode 0 for the just regular password cracking mode, and then svc admin hash, and then -- wordless, and then type out the path of this pass.txt here. So it is home Cali THM ATD and then password.txt. That is our syntax to crack the password. And there it is, it cracked. I already done mine so many times, but it's gonna crack to management 2005. That is our password. You could either save this or just answer it to the room. So mode, it is 18200, and then the password is management 2005. Let's move on to task 6. The utility we want to use is SMB client, but we're not going to use this yet. A little bit of spoiler here. I'm going to type out SMB client, and then you want to list share. So all you have to do is type -L to list, and then type the IP. Mine is 10.10.108.44, and then put another dash, capital U, spooky sex local, and then we're gonna use the credential of the SVC admin. So it is SVC admin, and put a percentage signs here. It is shift 5 if you use a regular window keyboard, and it's shift 5, and then we're gonna type the password management 2005, and then our syntax. And what it's gonna give you is gonna list the share name of all the shareable SMB disk. And you could also, to double check, you could also do this to SMB map. So this is much easier to see what kind of privilege we have. So it is SMB map -U SVC admin -P for the management. For the password, it is management 2005 -D. Just put a dot on it. I think domain, and then put a dot, and then dash capital H for the host, and it's gonna enumerate share, and with a bit of wait, it should show us the access and permission. So for the backup here, you see there's no common, And once you see the backup, it usually pretty, telling and is valuable for us enough. And the permission, we also have the read-only permission on the backup, and then there's no comment. So it's important enough for us to like look at it. So that's the jump out to you. So again, we're gonna go use the SMB client again, but this time we're gonna try to read the backup share. So for the syntax of this, it is SMB client // 10.10.108.44 and // you're gonna type out backup, which is the share we want to look at, and then -u, capital U, and put a quotation mark or like half quotation. Let me try the quotation mark. Let's see if it works. Admin quotation mark. For the password, it is management 2005. Try again. Management. There it is. So we're in. I typed the passwords wrong, so make sure you type correct password. It is management 2005. And all we have to do is type ls, and we list this backup credential.txt here. And next up, all we have to do is use the get command to get this backup credential.txt. There it is. We download the backup credential. So if you want to view this, it is here. So once we got the file, that's all we need. We can't really do anything else. So just type ls. We're gonna cat backup credential.txt, and you see this line here. It's kind of look like a base64 encoder. So based on thing, you could either use CyberChef. I use Python 3 and then -m64 and then -d and type out the backup credential. So we just decode this file from a base64 to just a regular text. And the information we got from this is backup spooky text.local backup 2517860, which is the password of this account. This is the credential we want to use. So yeah, so this is the password, this is the username or the domain. So again, for answering this task of task 6, what utility we use to map remote SMB share, it is SMB client. What option we use to list share, it is -l. How many remote share is the server listing? 6. There's 6 share, and then there is one particular share we have access, contain a text file. Which share is it? It is backup, and in the content of this backup credential.txt here, we're gonna paste the base64 hash. And then we're gonna decode the content to the what is the full content. It is backup at spookysex.local backup 2517860. All right, let's move on. We're done with task 6. We're gonna move on to task 7, and then we're gonna go back to this mpacket tab here. This is all done, so we can just Control L to clear. I'm gonna ls again. Next up, we're going to use, I think it is credential dump. We'll finally get to where we want to be. So yeah, so Python 3, we're going to type out Python 3. Since we in the mpacket example file here, and you can see the secret dump.py here. That's all we need. That's all we want to use. And yeah, that is. The syntax here, I'm just going to change the IP. I'm going to explain you the syntax a little bit later after I type this out. So our syntax would be Python 3 secret dump.py -just-dc, so just domain controller, and then type the backup, which is the username backup, or the SMB share backup, or the username. I was right. Yeah, so it is the username backup and backup 2517860, which is the password of backup, and then add 10.10.108.144, which is the target IP address. That's all we have to do. Actually, I forgot one more thing. We have to type out the sudo. So to get this right, we need to use sudo, or if you're on root terminal, you could also do that too. So since we have sudo now, it's actually used this method, drsuapi method. So what method allows to dump ntds.dit or .dit? It is drsuapi, and then what administrator ntlm hash. I'm just gonna scroll up to the first one here. It's say administrator, and then what we want to look at is this one at the last colon. It starts from 0e036. That is the hash we want to paste onto the answer. And then what method allowed us to authenticate user without the password? If you can't find the answer, all you have to do is paste the question onto Google, and I'm gonna give you the hash as the answer. Using the tool called EvilWinRM, what option it allows to use the hash? It is -H. So yeah, so we basically at the end point here. I'm trying to do this room as quick as possible because, like I said, I've been doing this room for like 5 times already. So all we have to do is type WinRM and then use this syntax here. I'm gonna type the IP again. I'm gonna explain you the syntax later, just like every other method of EvilWinRM-I. Let me type this EvilWinRM-8. So -I for IP. So this is the IP, -U for the username, -H for the hash. So if you want to patch the hash, you just copy the hash from the administrator credential dump here and just like use this and get into the administrator account. You could either do this, get the flag through Remina or X3 RDP. You could also do that too. But with EvilWinRM, you could only use the administrator and the hash. So either you have the password, if you only have the hash, you could use the hash to get into administrator account. So from here on out, you could get all the flag from administrator account because we have the highest privilege. So what we have to do is put type cd / desktop to cd to desktop. There it is. And then we're gonna ls to see the root.txt. In this room, I'm not gonna blur the flag because it's a free room and it's simple, and I just want to show this. It's really good room. I have fun. You can either cat. Let me try cat it. I know this is a window machine, but EvilWinRM allowed us to cat it, so you could cat or you could also type. So this is the administrator flag. It is TryHackMe Active Directory Master. And next up, we want to get this SVC admin flag. So all we have to do is type // to get previous to get out of this administrator user and go to SVC admin and then type the desktop to go to desktop. There it is. We add the desktop of SVC admin and then we're gonna ls and you're gonna see user.txt.txt. For some reason there's 2 extensions on this file, so all you have to do is you either type or cat. I'm gonna use type this time, user.txt.txt, and there it is. It's our flag for the SVC admin, and it is TryHackMe Kerberos pre-auth or pre-authentication. And then we're gonna do the same thing again. So we're gonna cd the same thing to previous backup desktop, and then we have to cat, no, actually ls first to see the name of the file. Just can't guess it because this one is a little bit unguessable. And then we're gonna cat previous s.txt, and our flag it is back me up Scotty. TryHackMe back me up Scotty. And that's it for this room. I'm excited for Active Directory. It's just this one, I'm going through trial and error. Not only through this room is not that hard, it's just me recording this and finally get it right. Hopefully I get it right. Hopefully when I finish this and everything is correct. And that's it for this room. Hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, and see ya.